He's rap royalty.
What's up, New York?
And the king of a seemingly bulletproof billion-dollar empire. The Sean Diddy Coons faces losing it all. After a series of lawsuits accusing him of sexual misconduct, police this week raided 2 of his properties as part of a federal investigation into sex trafficking. The rapper's lawyers called it an ambush and a gross use of military-level force.
I couldn't get dressed. I was supposed to go to the party. I just got off a plane from Miami. I couldn't put on makeup. I couldn't get dressed. I couldn't do anything. I was paralyzed.
When worlds collide, it seems like the entertainment industry's latest clash has thrown us a curveball. Diddy, the music mogul extraordinaire, has stepped up to the plate to confront none other than Piers Morgan for his spicy comments. Sparks flew, words were exchanged, and the internet's abuzz with the showdown that went down live. So grab your popcorn and buckle up because this feud just got real.
I think going to go to the Clive Davis party.
Yes.
It was a surreal event where Whitney's body was still in the hotel, and there was this sort of party where apparently half the room were in tears, the other half were kind of partying.
So it turns out that even some of Hollywood's heavyweights are shaking in their boots at the thought of hitting up parties hosted by Clive and Diddy. From wild, drug-fueled nights to jaw-dropping levels of debauchery, these shindigs are definitely not for the faint of heart. But hey, with all the risks involved, why do A-listers keep flocking to them? Time to roll up our sleeves, sift through the gritty details, and uncover the truth.
His house, and that's where the story began. Clive Davis's house.
Looks like Hollywood's elite aren't exactly lining up to RSVP for parties thrown by Clive and Diddy. And now, the always controversial Piers Morgan is dropping bombshells about these notorious gatherings. From mind-boggling drug use to eye-popping levels of extravagance, these parties are definitely not your grandma's tea time. So what's the deal? Why do celebs keep rolling the dice and showing up despite the potential hazards? Clive and Diddy were renowned for throwing eccentric parties. These weren't your run-of-the-mill gatherings. They were extravagant affairs often held at gay clubs, featuring activities that would boggle the mind of the average person. Piers Morgan didn't hold back in sharing his shocking insights into these events. And it wasn't just about drugs. These parties allegedly included improper homosexual encounters, bizarre ritualistic practices, criminal activities, and more. Let's just say Morgan wasn't thrilled about these revelations, and neither are we. And it's not just Morgan. Even Usher, who Diddy himself mentored, had some similar stories to share about Diddy's parties.
Curious, I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking.
But if you think inappropriate escapades are the sole reason the music industry avoids these parties, think again. Ever since the tragic passing of Whitney Houston, the industry has quietly distanced itself from Davis and Diddy and their inner circle. Houston's death on February 11, 2012, at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills, California, cast a shadow over these gatherings. Lieutenant Mark Rosen told reporters outside the Beverly Hilton that Houston was pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m. in her room on the 4th floor of the hotel. Her body remained there, and Beverly Hills detectives were investigating. There were no obvious signs of any criminal intent, Rosen said. Police Lieutenant Mark Rosen stated in a release that her cause of death had been recorded as drowning, but the circumstances surrounding how and why she drowned remain unknown to officials. CBS News reported her cause of death as such.
Coroner's officials said she drowned accidentally. Houston also had at least 5 different drugs in her system, and also, we've learned, had heart disease.
You have a heart condition exacerbated by cocaine use, which combined resulted in her drowning. Spokesman Craig Harvey told AFP, adding, "We feel that there was a heart event complicated by cocaine use before she drowned." How injury occurred, found submerged in bathtub filled with water. Cocaine intake, it said, adding, "No trauma or foul play is suspected." Chances are, had she not had the pre-existing heart disease and cocaine use, she may not have drowned, he said. The cocaine causes the heart to beat faster, the arteries to constrict, which could set you up for a cardiac event. The time, cause, and manner of Whitney Houston's death just don't seem to add up. Many suspect foul play was involved, with some reports even suggesting that her body showed signs of struggle, including defensive marks and bruises. Up until now, there hasn't been any indication of Davis's involvement in her death. However, what followed raised suspicions. The shocking passing of the pop diva turned the Grammys into a collective moment of mourning for the music world. Despite the surreal sadness, the Grammys carried on the day after Houston's death, with Clive Davis, one of Whitney's closest associates, organizing the event. As her mentor and confidant, people expected him to at least postpone, if not cancel, the event. Yet, everyone was left stunned when the celebrations went ahead as planned. Later on, Davis released a statement attempting to address the situation, expressing his adoration for Whitney and claiming to have been with her at the time of her death. Here's what Davis had to say. "It was painful. First of all, it was shocking. I had been with her 48 hours earlier," Davis recalled in an interview with CNN this week. "She knew I couldn't believe that she was still smoking cigarettes," Davis said, "and she showed me she had given up smoking. She had gone to some kind of throat doctor to remove all the nicotine from her throat. This was February. We scheduled that we'd be ready," he recalled. "That's the way we worked. We collaborated and met before any recording session with material, and we said, yeah, she'll go in August." So she was vital, optimistic, looking forward to the future. That's the lethal power of drugs. You never beat it. She didn't beat it. It's alarming that Davis had a whole eulogy planned, yet he didn't demonstrate enough decency to cancel or delay the event. The least Whitney deserved was for the world to pause and properly grieve her death. When questioned about his decision, Clive provided an even more morally questionable excuse.
Grammys for the next night. You don't cancel. You turn an evening into a tribute.
He further claimed that he proceeded with the celebrations because the deceased's family instructed him to do so. Celebrities were shocked at this gesture by Clive, especially considering his seemingly close bond with Whitney. "I called her family. I said, look, this was her favorite party. We have to celebrate her," Davis reminisced. "We've got to not only celebrate her life, but also provide a peaceful haven for the mourners to be together and not feel alone. We agreed to go on and celebrate her life and her unique talent with the music that she loves so much." Chaka Khan, an acquaintance of Whitney, boldly questioned Clive's insensitivity in clear terms.
I don't know what could motivate a person to have a party in a building where the person whose life he had influenced.
She didn't stop there. Chaka took Clive by the collar and blatantly pointed fingers at his definition of paying tribute to the dead by continuing the celebrations. She asserted that her idea of honoring Whitney would have been quite different.
In my opinion, would have been maybe call everybody together, let's say a prayer, and let's eat dinner and go home.
All in all, it was complete and utter depravity on Davis's part. He's become far too associated with celebrity deaths, and the public has even linked this repetitive association to far more heinous involvement in criminal activities, such as involvement in sacrificial cults. Someone commented, "Whitney was murdered, beaten, just like Jamie beaten. Common denominator in both cases, Clive and Puffy among others." Another one added, "Hold up, she was at Clive Davis' party. See, Daddy and Clive need to be investigated and took down. How really all these people deaths are always connected to those two." Another one commented, "The very fact her daughter was also found passed out in a bathtub days before her mother then dies 3 years to the date of her mother's the very same way is mind-boggling. Makes me feel like Whitney gave herself up instead of her daughter, but they always come to finish what they started. I feel like after Whitney got her divorce, her and Bobby Christina were able to finally build that mother-daughter bond. She no longer could follow through with her firstborn sacrifice like she thought she could back when her and Bobby were smoking crack, and they didn't busy themselves with trying to be good parents to her. And it seems he's passed on all these nasty traits to the artists he mentored, with Puff Daddy being at the top of the list. Diddy's activities have been suspiciously similar to Davis's. He's been spotted at similar gatherings, has an equally tarnished criminal record, and is rumored to have been involved in quite a few celebrity deaths. Is now the right time to disclose that both Davis and Diddy might share similar sexual preferences too. Clive Davis recently came out of the closet in his new memoir, the soundtrack of my life. The 80-year-old record executive revealed that he's been involved in 2 monogamous relationships with men over the past 20 years. Prior to that, he had only been with women. He further expressed that being with a man brought him a welcome relief.
My second marriage failed because I had been 100% heterosexual up until then.
Dave separated from his second wife in 1985 after a period of soul-searching and self-analysis. He then revealed that he went on to have simultaneous relationships with 2 women and a man. These weren't the only revelations Clive made, but they were the ones most related to his current reputation in the industry, aka being labeled a predator. But what relation could Davis's sexuality have with Diddy? Here's the thing. Diddy was under Davis's mentorship when he was very young. He might have been the victim of Davis's sexual advances. Not just that, it seems like Diddy got mightily inspired by his mentor. Because rumors of it circulating all over suggest that Diddy is homosexual too. Talk about the mentee following in the mentor's footsteps. And they aren't just rumors. Diddy seems to be done with staying hidden about his preferences, because he's been dropping hints recently that imply that he is indeed gay. For example, in his rap lyrics, he expressed his fear of not being able to love like he wants to. You know, what is it going to take for me not to be afraid? To be loved the way like I really want to be loved, but that I know how I really want to be loved. Moreover, Diddy's behavior has been raising eyebrows. He accidentally disclosed once that he and Usher always woke up together in the past, and his ex-bodyguard also hinted at Diddy joining fellow male singer Ja Rule in his hotel room. Fans are speculating that he'll be coming out with big news soon, just like Clive did. All these similarities can't be mere coincidence. It's quite evident that Diddy is obsessing over his mentor's ways and is hell-bent on becoming a replica of Davis, if not worse. And if that happens, we need to brace ourselves for more losses like Whitney Houston, and none of us are ready for that.
Misogynist.
In a way, he's selfish. He's a very selfish individual. He wants the spotlight on him. It's very much a shot. It's something that I have a hard time believing in.
While appearing on the Piers Morgan show, DJ Vald was prompted with a question about Diddy's situation. In response, he expressed that people are referring to him as Diddler. This nickname has gained traction amidst the ongoing speculation and discussions surrounding Diddy's recent controversies and allegations.
It's hard to say. He hasn't been charged with anything. I mean, it looks bad. I mean, social media is having a field day. They're calling him the Diddler, and they're saying no Diddy whenever they say something questionable.
During his appearance on the Piers Morgan show, DJ Vald highlighted a significant factor in Diddy's situation: his substantial financial resources. Vald emphasized that Diddy's wealth affords him the ability to secure the best possible defense against the allegations levied against him. Drawing a comparison to R. Kelly's legal battles, Vald underscored the potential advantage that Diddy's financial standing could provide in navigating the complexities of the legal system.
Unlike an R. Kelly, Puffy has hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's going to be able to get the absolute best defense. And, ultimately, we'll see what happens in the courtroom.
In his conversation with Piers Morgan, Mark Curry, who had previously worked for Bad Boy Records, was asked by Morgan if he was surprised by the FBI's involvement. In response, Curry reflected on the situation, suggesting that what was happening could be seen as karma. This remark implies that there might be a sense of poetic justice or retribution at play, perhaps hinting at past actions catching up with individuals or entities involved.
I'm shocked because it's almost like karma. It's almost like what he's been doing, a lot of people accuse him of putting them through in life is actually it's his time to honestly have to go through the same things.
Mark Curry further expressed his reaction to Diddy's situation, describing it as very shocking for him. He conveyed disbelief, stating that he found it difficult to accept the allegations against Diddy. This sentiment suggests that Curry, like many others, was taken aback by the unfolding events and struggled to reconcile the accusations with his perception of Diddy. The comment reflects the emotional impact and disbelief that often accompany such revelations about individuals in positions of power and influence.
Shock, but it's very much a shock. It's something that I have a hard time believing in.
When asked about his experience working for Diddy, Mark Curry offered insight into Diddy's personality and work ethic. He described Diddy as a very strong-headed person with a very selfish demeanor, emphasizing Diddy's desire to always be in the spotlight. Curry suggested that Diddy prioritized his role as a rapper over his responsibilities as a businessman, indicating a potential imbalance between Diddy's artistic aspirations and the practical demands of running a label like Bad Boy Records. This observation sheds light on the dynamics within the company and Diddy's leadership style, portraying him as a driven yet self-centered figure within the industry.
He's a very selfish individual. He wants the spotlight on him. He wants to be a rapper. So really, he's a rapper and not a business. Bad Boy is a business, it's a label. So he's a rapper on the label, so he's not just a label, he's a rapper.
Further into the conversation, Mark Curry was asked whether Diddy is misogynistic. Piers Morgan then requested Curry to explain the term misogynist. Morgan defined it as a person who is inherently and instinctively hateful towards women. Following this definition, Morgan inquired whether Curry believed Diddy to be a misogynist. This exchange delved into a critical examination of Diddy's attitudes and behavior towards women, probing deeper into questions of gender dynamics and respect within the entertainment industry.
Yes, you know, when you can say something like that, when you think about being famous and then you think about a female, sometimes a female can get the same energy that you get from being famous just by having her sexual organs. So yes, you have men that come in competition with women over their souls. So yes, getting into a woman's soul is definitely an accomplishment for a lot of people that say, hey, the females like me, I'm famous and I'm handsome, whatever. And then you get to enjoy those things with females. So yes, it's just something that comes with being a male, I think, and pursuing females.
Piers Morgan further probed Mark Curry, seeking insights from his experience regarding how Diddy treated women. The question delved into the nuances of Diddy's interactions and behavior towards women within the industry. Morgan's inquiry aimed to discern whether Diddy demonstrated respect or disrespect towards women based on Curry's observations and encounters. This line of questioning opened up a broader discussion about gender dynamics, professional conduct, and ethical considerations within the realm of entertainment and business.
Down on it, and you have to earn that respect. He doesn't give respect, not to females, not to a lot of men, not to producers, friends. You can just tell by the way that everyone that's around him and what's going on in their lives. You have all of the artists that's been in prison.
Further in the conversation, Piers Morgan posed the question of Diddy's talent to Mark Curry. In response, Curry offered his assessment, rating Diddy's talent at 6 out of 10. He elaborated on this rating, expressing the view that while Diddy possesses some abilities and strengths, he falls short of being exceptionally talented. This evaluation provided a critical perspective on Diddy's skill set and artistic capabilities, contributing to a nuanced discussion about talent and success in the music industry.
I think he comes in probably around a 6 on a scale from 1 to 10. He's not talented because he's not much of a great creator. You know, he's a great spokesperson or a person to just be in the place of a thing, but not great as far as talent is concerned.
Upon Mark Curry's response, fans showed respect towards him. One fan wrote, "I have found a new respect for Mark Curry for his straightforward talk and honesty without envy and jealousy, but forgiveness without malicious intentions. What a brother. Puff's indictment is exaggerated." Mark mentioned in an interview that when he released his book in 2009, he encountered challenges when trying to secure interviews on his own radio station. He explained that there were concerns raised about potential conflicts of interest, as Diddy was investing significant amounts of money in various brands and liquor ventures. This situation underscored the complexities of navigating personal and professional relationships within the entertainment industry, highlighting the impact of financial interests on media coverage and editorial decisions.
When I first released the book in 2009, it was very difficult for me to get an interview on my own radio stations here in Atlanta because they said that he was spending so much money on marketing and promoting Ciroc and his liquors and his brands. So they was like, it would be it would be a conflict of interest.
Following Cassie's bombshell lawsuit against Diddy in November, the Bad Boy Records founder has faced a barrage of additional allegations. Most recently, he was accused of sexual misconduct by producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, who claims he was groped by the mogul. These troubling accusations have sparked division within the hip-hop community. Nevertheless, Diddy continues to garner support from several of his peers. While there are those who stand against Diddy, he's got some allies in his corner too, like Ja Rule. During a recent appearance on Piers Morgan Uncensored, Ja Rule expressed sympathy for both Diddy and his alleged victims. While he refrained from addressing specific allegations, he extended well wishes to all those affected by the situation. "It's another black man in this industry going through some unfortunate circumstances," he explained. "I wish him luck with everything he's going through, and if there's victims in this. I can't speak on things that I don't know about, Piers, but I wish everybody love." Ja Rule continued, asserting his belief that the punishment should align with the severity of the alleged wrongdoings. "It's a very unfortunate thing for the victims of these situations and for the people who are also being accused of these situations," he said. "I believe in justice and I believe in the punishment fitting the crime." He went on to argue that individuals making false accusations should face consequences, including potentially being incarcerated. "If people get convicted of the things these people are saying, then they should be put in jail. But I also believe on the flip side, if people are lying about these things, they should also be taken to court, tried, and be put in prison as well." And there you have it, folks. Diddy didn't hold back when he caught wind of Piers Morgan's comments. With all eyes glued to their screens, it was a showdown for the ages. But that's just another day in the wild world of showbiz. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.